Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Canadians Football Podcast. I'm your host, Matty P.
I'm your co-host, C Money.
And we are coming at you with another episode.
Yeah.
Thursday, and we have two preseason games on the tube.
Happening as we speak.
Houston shut down the Pats earlier. There was a nice TD catch made by Tank Dell in the end zone there. So check that out, folks.
And right now, the Blue Bombers are also playing the Edmonton Elks, and it's disappointing thus far.
The Edmonton Elks, I believe, have 21 games at home lost in a row.
Yeah, I believe they set a record, and right now they're beating the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And the Edmonton Elks have 0 wins on the season.
Crack a beer and cry about it. No, I'm just kidding. There's lots of time left. There's over a full quarter here, and this is the CFL. Let's go, Blue.
Yeah, let's get her done, even with the backup quarterback.
So yeah, on today's episode, we're just going to discuss a bit of news.
Just a quick hitter on the news.
The Indianapolis Colts are starting Anthony Richardson in their first preseason game.
Okay, that's fun. I suppose they should see what you got to just give that guy his reps, give him a chance to prove that he deserves to start game 1, right? Regular season.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see Anthony in his first start. I can't quite remember who they are playing. Nonetheless, I want to see what that arm do. Maybe we'll catch a glimpse of what those legs do. And yeah, very stoked as a Dynasty Anthony Richardson holder. Let's see. Let's get this year going.
Yeah. They don't play till Saturday, but and so they're playing Buffalo. But yeah, Buffalo probably doesn't start a lot of their main guys. Obviously, Josh Allen probably doesn't need to show what he can do. Stephon Diggs, same deal. But that'll be worth checking out. It's always worth checking out preseason action if you get to see some of these first round picks show you what they got.
So yeah, I'll definitely be trying to tune into that game. That game is on a Saturday, guys. What time there, Miller?
That one is at 12 p.m. So that's like a regular high noon weekend game.
Dope. Noon o'clock. Okay, I'll be checking that out. Maybe some baseball. My band is playing a show later that night.
All systems go.
All systems go. Full send. In other news, Chargers Joey Bosa is eating 5,000 plus calories a day to bulk up.
Ooh, gains.
Bulk up that contract.
Yeah, his position calls for it. That makes sense. Probably should be lifting and eating as much as possible right now. So yeah, good for him.
Man, I want to see the Chargers just duel KC in that division. I want to see them put up a fight. You know what I mean? I hope for Staley's sake and the rest of the offense's sake, I hope that offense is fun to watch.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. They got it's hard not to like them. They got some really good players, and none of them, really make a scene or anything outside of football. All seem like pretty nice guys, and you can't argue with that offense. Justin Herbert, stud. Austin Eckler, stud. Keenan Allen, stud. Mike Williams, stud. Rookie coming in, Quentin Johnson. Let's see. And then decent tight end with Everett there. So, that's a nice looking offense. Kellen Moore coming in, being the offensive coordinator, should help elevate this offense further because he's a pretty aggressive play caller, and he likes to go deep. He likes to throw the ball, and having a quarterback like Herbert, that makes a lot of sense. It should be a good year this year for that team.
I'm calling it now. This is the last year with that core. It's not going to look. This team will not look the same next year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Those two top receivers I just listed are getting older. This could be the beginning of the end for Keenan Allen. Mike Williams, who knows, that guy gets hurt every year. And then, there could be a lot of upheaval. But the big thing for me with this offense is last year losing Rashawn Slater, their left tackle. That was huge for the confidence that Herbert has standing in the pocket, especially when his ribs got all messed up. He was taking shots. He was just not at his normal self. You could see in certain games watching him that he was struggling just to throw the ball. He would give up on plays, and then the next play he would throw a dime 50 yards downfield, just battling. So I think having his Pro Bowl level caliber left tackle back is going to go a long way to helping him be confident and standing in and making the throws.
Yeah, and no one really notices this, but Gerald Everett had a career year last year.
Yeah, well, he's never ever been like a stud tight end, but he's always been a usable asset. So this year, I mean, there is a lot of target competition, so it is a little bit tough, but if there's injuries, and that Kellen Moore, these past few years with Dallas, he has made Dalton Schultz, who is an average player, into a very usable mid-level tight end one, and now he's going to have a better player to potentially put into that spot if he's running the same systems. So that remains to be seen, but it could work out really well.
Yes, totally agree. So remember last year I had that big $90,000 division bet, and I had the Chargers winning the division on it.
Maybe a year early.
Maybe I was a little early. No, I still like the Chiefs.
It's probably still the Chiefs, yeah.
I still like the Chiefs to just win again.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to argue with Mahomes. And
the best.
And Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a very good coach.
Yeah, they lost Bieniemy, but
right.
I think
he's not.
They still have the top two pieces there, Mahomes and Andy Reid. But
and Kelsey.
And Kelsey, yeah. As long as Kelsey there.
Yeah, hard to stop. Very good,
yeah.
Very good team.
And obviously the possibility of the beginning of a dynasty.
Yeah, we're already in there.
But yes, on today's episode, I wasn't even planning on doing a best ball draft today. And fucking my buddy Kevin called me up and he's like, hey, we just started talking football. So it kind of made me want to do a best ball draft. So DraftKings I go, and I jumped on a $3 league. And I'm just going to run through like my strategy with all of my best ball drafts on DraftKings.
And then I'm just going to critique from an outside perspective.
Yeah, Miller hasn't been involved in too many best ball drafts, maybe just mocks?
No, well, never. I've never done a best ball draft, a real one.
What about a mock?
Well, when you're mocking, it doesn't ever feel like it's ever a particular. You might have in your mind the style, but I feel like the AI adapts to whatever you're doing, and then so if you go tight end early, it tries to punish you for taking a tight end early, and tries to it acts as if the other drafters are really smart and they know how to draft value. And so it tries to punish you. So conversely, if you go running back early, it'll rob you of all the receivers. So it's don't take two running backs in a row, because now we're going to punish you when you come trying to pick a wide receiver. So yeah, I don't know. I take the mock stuff kind of with a grain of salt, because you got to know your draft room. But best ball, yeah, different animal. I know. I haven't done it yet.
So here's my strategy. So for everybody out there, it's 20 rounds. So you have 20 players. It's 12 teams. All of these tournaments, I think, are 12 teams on DraftKings. And you're competing for millions of dollars. It's obviously a long shot. It takes all season, but it's fun.
Right.
So me and my friend Kevin have been putting multiple $3 entries. I think there's another league where it's $10 entries. But yeah, the ceiling of winning, your leagues and advancing is pretty high. So I'm going to explain my strategy for every one of my best ball drafts this year.
And I'm just going to poke holes.
Yeah. So every best ball draft, no matter where I'm drafting a bunch of wide receivers right off the get-go.
Okay.
And I think I was drafting in the 8 or 9 spot in this league of 12. So I decided to reach. Lamb was available, but I took Amon St. Brown.
Okay.
I think he's going to reap a ton of targets from the get-go and just help me win weeks in advance in this league.
Yeah, I mean, between those two, that's really splitting hairs. I like both those players, so really it's kind of up to you on what you prefer. I like both those players for this season, and I wouldn't fault you going either direction there.
So in a lot of best ball leagues, me and my buddy Kevin have even gone 4 wide receivers right off the get-go. Now this is a 3 wide receiver. These are 3 wide receiver start leagues, 2 running back. And yeah, sometimes we'll go
one QB, right?
1 QB. And then tight end flex.
Not tight end premium.
No.
Is it PPR
PPR.
or half?
Yeah,
Okay.
just your basic.
Okay.
And so yeah, we're going heavy wide receiver like right off the bat because there's the tiers of quality wide receiver, they kind of diminish. So yeah, Amon St. Brown at 8 or 9. I went Waddle in the second round.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I like Waddle.
And I'll tell you more about why I got Waddle later rounds.
Okay.
After Waddle, I saw Najee Harris kicking around, round 3.
Overrated. Okay.
Most leagues, I'm going wide receiver. But I saw Najee Harris there, so
What other running backs were there then?
Not too many, but I'll tell you my RB2.
Okay.
I get my RB2 in round 6. So after Harris, I go DJ Moore. I think he's going to be a target hog in Chicago.
Yeah, probably. He is better than the other options there in Chicago. You got to really hope Fields becomes a better passer, which there's a strong potential that he does make that step. But that is a risk.
There's already some chemistry building in camp, so I'm mainly jumping on a month early on the hype, but I think his value is only going to go up, right? I'm drafting right now too. Like this is August. What is this? August 10th.
Yep, something like that.
So I go Amon St. Brown, Waddle, Najee Harris, DJ Moore. I believe my next pick was either Goddard or Kamara. Oh no, sorry guys. My next pick after that, I think round 6, Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders being touted as a 3-down back by Carolina coaches there, so
he should be the lead guy there. For him, I like his potential volume is a huge draw. Same with Najee Harris. Though that's the big thing you're looking at with those 2 running backs is volume. They should be the top guys. They should get the majority of the carries, the reps. My only concern with Harris is that he just isn't that explosive, and he's just always borderline or mid. And then with Miles Sanders, kind of similar. Although I do think he doesn't have a strong backup behind him. And so I do think Miles Sanders, as long as this offense is okay with Bryce Young at quarterback, that is the biggest concern, because you never know with a rookie quarterback, but he seems like he should be a good decision maker and he's a good high level prospect. Size is concerning, of course, but I do like the potential that Carolina offense might have. And Miles Sanders, they probably feed the ball to help protect a young quarterback.
And they just paid him. I think they just gave him a 3-year contract, so they're gonna take advantage of his time and this opportunity.
He is, like, no questions asked. He is running back 1. He's probably running back 2.
And he had a great year last year.
He did. Oh, absolutely. And he's a good running back.
Yeah, he's got.
It's just the only concern with it is he was running behind the Philadelphia offensive line last year. versus this year he's running behind the Carolina offensive line. Definitely different levels of the quality of those two O-lines is concerning. But Sanders, just volume alone, and also the weakness of the division that they play in should contribute to him having a good year.
So yeah, and also to your Najee Harris
Slander.
slander. No, I'm not gonna say slander, but like cautions. I did grab Jalen.
Okay.
Jalen Warren
Awesome.
late.
Yeah, that's a great.
He looked good last year.
Yeah,
Jalen
yeah,
Winfield.
for sure.
So like if one of those backs just gets into the end zone, or catches a bunch of passes along the way, like I should be good.
Right.
Like if I think
Right.
that offense is going to be as good as I think it is this year, like
Okay.
from
Well,
20 to 30 to top 15 offense, borderline top 15, that's a nice jump.
yeah.
And
Yeah, sure.
so
Yeah. I do believe they should make a jump as well. I agree with you. Because Kenny Pickett was a rookie last year. It's all, I think of all the second-year QBs that are getting these landing spot starting positions, I do think that Pickett is poised to make the biggest jump. And I think he should do that.
yeah, if you guys have been following the podcast for the last few months, there's lots of value on the Green Bay Packers offense right now, and also the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. You can get Pickett. He's basically going undrafted in a redraft league.
Yeah. He's definitely a waiver wire guy.
Love
is probably also
20th
waiver.
20th QB off the board, in some leagues. So
Both waiver guys.
yeah, and I think people will be rushing to the waivers once one of those wide receivers go off, or Love goes off and he's the number one pickup this week, or blah 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 blah.
Well, here's my thing. The Packers don't get the Vikings until late in the season, so he's not going to be able to exploit the weak quarterbacks that the Vikings have this year until late. And that by then, maybe they've gotten enough reps in that now they're actually decent. So,
Yo. News release.
oh,
Our Winnipeg Bombers just went up by 2.
Bombers have taken the lead.
They were down 22-0 to start this game, and our star MVP quarterback went down. Just looked over my shoulder. It's 31-29
Yeah,
with a bit of time left in the fourth quarter.
Bombers still have a decent defense, so.
Amen to football being back. NFL and CFL on the day today. Love it.
Let's go.
Yo, if you are excited about football, leave a fucking shit message in the shit comments.
All right, so let's go. So what else you got here? Let's keep rolling with your drafts here.
So now you know my wide receivers, my 3 wide receivers, and you know my 2 running backs.
So you got what? Amon-Ra, you got Waddle, and who's your third receiver?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, right. Okay.
So those are my top 3 wide receivers.
Gotcha.
I got
okay.
Najee Harris, RB1, Miles Sanders, RB2.
Okay.
Check this out. The next 2 picks, I go Goddard. So first tight end off the board. I have a piece of that offense.
That pick is really going to pay dividends if either A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith get hurt.
Even if Goddard just did what he did last year, what did he do last year? Tight end 6 or something, top something like that.
Yeah, he was inconsistent just because of the other 2.
But check this out. So after rounding out my lineup with my first tight end off the board, guess who I got after that? So RB3, specifically only missing 3 games, Mr. Alvin Kamara.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nice one for, later in the year. I think just missing the first 3 weeks, that's going to help keep him fresh, right?
So that's my flex spot.
Okay.
Actually, he's going to go on the bench for the 3 games. But
Right.
after that, I think I might have reached here, but he's a guy that I've been grabbing in a lot of best ball leagues, probably 75% of my leagues.
Okay.
I'm always grabbing Jerick McKinnon.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has those games where, when he's on two goal line touchdowns, or a catch and it's a 14-yard TD run.
Yeah, I've always liked Jerick McKinnon. It's just unfortunate what happened with him when he was really good for the Vikings, and then he signs a big deal with the 49ers, blows out his knee, basically is not the same player, recovering, and never catches on with a really good role in San Francisco, signs still has his skills, but just needed some recovery. And now with the Chiefs, he's really paying off for that team. And I do like him, especially kind of in a little bit of a committee backfield, but he's got the passing role, which is a really big deal when you're playing with Patrick Mahomes. So I do like McKinnon this year.
Yeah, like what I've been doing in all of my best ball drafts is I'm grabbing a few Chiefs. If you do a best ball draft, you're drafting 20 players and you're not grabbing any Chiefs. What are you smoking?
Yeah, no, that's a very a good strategy for sure. You want to have at least one.
But I'm trying to walk away with 2 because there's going to be those weeks where the Chiefs go off on a soft defense. And it's going to be McKinnon 2 TD, McKinnon
or
3 TD.
Whoever. Kelsey 3 TDs.
Kelsey. But yes, Kelsey, you got to get him early.
He's the obvious, yeah.
But there's some Chiefs wide receivers that you can get late in the draft. And if you're not walking away with one or 2 of them, you're missing out, guys.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 receivers on the Chiefs. You can just grab one or 2 of them, whatever. Especially in a best ball format. They get used that week that they go off, so...
So, yeah, McKinnon is basically my RB4 or RB3 till Kamara comes off the 3-game suspension.
Right.
Okay, so
gotcha.
after that, I lied to you, Miller. I said this was a 2 QB best ball. In the final round, I did grab a QB. I'll tell you guys about that later. But usually I'm just 2 or 3 QBs in these best ball leagues. Some people grab 4. I don't know why you're grabbing more than 3 because you can fill your roster with other players. So after McKinnon, I go Daniel Jones. So I got the Tua and Daniel Jones QB connect.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Daniel Jones as I did last year. Not much has changed in the way I view him as a player. He's got some legs and he's got some decent skills in the passing game. He's got a good coach. I just think he's he's an average quarterback, but the legs get him some extra points. Maybe Darren Waller helps him throw a couple more touchdown passes. I don't think a lot has changed in New York, and so I still think he's going to finish very similarly to what he did last year. So, I mean, I'm neither high nor low on him. I just think, yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
He's in the Kirk Cousins range.
He's Kirk Cousins on like steroids because his rushing.
Well, the rushing, but Kirk Cousins is going to outpass him for sure, 100%.
But although, check this out, guys, they did add Jalen Hyatt, who I actually did grab at the end of this draft.
I see. Okay.
So I got,
yeah. Who did they play in week 17?
When I build one of these best ball drafts, you kind of want to grab stacks. So I got the Tua stack to Waddle. And I got the Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones to Jalen Hyatt, the rookie.
Well, I would prefer if you had Waller for that stacking purposes, but I do like the Tua Waddle stack. That's a nice one.
Yeah, and like I went Goddard, right? So I didn't really.
But you don't have Hurts, right?
Grab Waddle, Waller. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. Yep. Gotcha.
So I at least have 2 wide receiver to quarterback stacks that I believe in will be at least provide me points when maybe one of them isn't. You know what I mean?
Potentially, right? Yeah, sure.
So you guys know I'm pretty good at wide receiver, pretty heavy at running back. My next 2 picks were Romeo Doubs, so my wide receiver 4, grabbing a piece of that Green Bay offense. I'm gonna leave so many best ball drafts with Romeo Doubs.
Yeah. I mean, as far as he goes, I don't really have much an opinion on him. I think that he's a year older, so he has experience. He got a lot of hype last year and basically did nothing. It's very, very probably below average. And then this year, again, kind of the same thing. He's getting some hype, and it'll just be interesting to see if maybe he's progressed. They do have Reed as a potential candidate to usurp him in the wide receiver spot. So wide receiver 2, but Musgrave at tight end, Kraft at tight end, some rookies. It's all young players. This is a very young offense, so it's interesting. And I just really don't. I do like that they're playing the Vikings late in the season. If for fantasy purposes, Vikings are going to put up points, and it should be a high scoring game. So maybe that helps Dubs in the late season there for your playoffs.
I think I like Dubes, like his ADP compared to
Or it's Dobbs.
whatever
It's
Dobbs. I like his ADP better than Christian Watson. Like Christian Watson is going in like the 4th round of these fucking DraftKings lineup.
He goes a lot higher for
like
sure.
That's crazy. So I got Dubes how late? Like double digits? Like is that round 10 or 11 or something?
Are we that late already in this draft? Okay.
Anyways, I kind of lost track of where I drafted Tua. So I drafted Tua around like the 7th, 8th, or 9th round. Like,
doesn't it just tell you? You can't look at that?
No, it's DraftKings, and I just I got a few screenshots.
It just
yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm gonna round out my roster with you guys.
Okay.
I got Jalen Warren, so I got Najee Harris.
I like that combo. Yes, that's good.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, I got a couple Pittsburgh pieces, and I got a Green Bay piece because I feel like you can buy low on those offenses, right? I'm already running back heavy, right? You guys already know I'm deep with Kamara and Sanders. And Najee Harris and his backup. I also got Kareem Hunt and fucking Leonard Fournette in this draft.
Okay.
So like
those are interesting pieces.
Those are my running back 6 and 7s. Like we're getting real deep here on this best ball. So like I'm trying to cover my bases.
I don't hate that for late guys to grab.
Yeah, we're talking like round 13,
because
14.
you know that those guys, wherever they end up, probably going to be injury replacements. And so that means they're going to have nice roles. So I like that.
So yeah, you can guys see how I'm really building this roster. Like Kamara in my flex. There's these free agent superstars waiting to feast on a fucking contract or a late season arrival. Can you guys tell I'm excited for football?
I can tell.
So yeah,
you gotta pull your hand out of your pants there first.
I'm really excited about this best ball lineup, man. Millions on the line, dude. Millions on the line.
Right on.
Okay, so I'm still rounding out my wide receiver room. Check this out.
Okay.
Jalen Hyatt recently also got Justin Ross, so I got another cheat.
Okay.
I told you guys get multiple.
He's a camp all-star for the Chiefs apparently. So
check out the highlights. There's a couple highlights out there. Okay, and then, we're getting thin here, guys. A few rounds left.
Yeah,
so I grabbed
like
Dawson Knox as my tight end, too, because I heard he's having his best camp, and he's still only 26. I know Kincaid is coming in hot.
Yeah.
But don't count out Dawson Knox yet. I'm telling you guys. I have Dawson and Kincaid on a dynasty roster. I have both of them. I ain't dropping any of them. You know what I mean? Like, don't forget about Dawson. I got him late.
You hold Dawson for this year. Drop him next year because Kincaid's going to take over that. But
this is best ball. It grabs the best.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fine. That makes sense. Yeah.
So check this out. I got a couple Buffalo pieces. I also got Shakir very late, like I think round 18.
Oh, so you're just like looking at my dynasty roster and being like, who does Miller like? And then being
check
like,
this out.
oh,
Dawson Knox and Shakir were available real late, and like Allen loves to throw the ball. Okay, sign me up.
Well, of course. Yeah, and and the coach, that offense, they run tons of passing. So it makes sense. I had Shakir last year, and he didn't do much. See if he does any more this year. I'm semi-hoping Dalton Kincaid just completely takes his role, and it's just the Kincaid show. But hey, if Kincaid can show up this year and do some damage, I'm all for that too. I still got him on Dynasty, so
yeah, I have Kincaid in a bunch of leagues. I'm very excited for Kincaid. Musgrave, a lot of rookie tight ends. I'm very excited. I think we're like.
This could be a year. The changing of the guard,
Kelsey,
the tight end position.
Kelsey approaching, middle 30s, and
he's 34, and that cliff is coming sometime. I mean, unless he's Tony Gonzalez, who did keep going for a long. I think he was 38 when he kind of hit the wall. So that could be 4 more years of Kelsey domination if he goes that long. But chances are he won't be. And maybe this next wave of guys is coming in this draft right now.
So I got Shakir late. I got the tight end 2 for Denver, Albert Wegbunam.
Alberto.
I saw him
Alberto.
I saw him available, and I haven't grabbed him in any of my leagues, so I grabbed him here because I know Russell's gonna go to one of his tight ends, and it's either Albert or what's his name on Dulcich. Who looked real good last year, but never count out the second tight end because they always open up opportunities, and I know Coach coming in there in Denver, he loves his tight ends, so that's why I grabbed Albert as my tight end 3.
I think they brought in Troutman too, didn't they?
No, I don't know.
From New Orleans?
No, I don't know.
I think they might have, and that's a Sean Payton guy. But Alberto was hyped last year, so
anyways,
there's a chance.
He's my tight end 3, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I got Goddard,
you're getting deep.
Knox, and Albert. We'll call him Albert OK because that's the first 2 letters of his last name.
Yeah, Albert, moderate to okay.
Okay, and my last pick, I kind of gave you guys the clue earlier. Trey Lance.
Snap!
This is
Wow.
a long season. I know I got Daniel Jones and the Tua with the stacks, the wide receiver stacks. But it was my last pick. I didn't really have any other needs. I got 3 tight ends. I got 2 quarterbacks. I got a lot of wide receivers, a lot of magnets, PPR magnets, if you know what I'm talking about.
I love me some Trey Lance. I love the Minnesota boy. Not trying to hate.
Is he from Minnesota?
He is, yeah. But I have lost faith in the Trey Lance.
You mean you've lost faith in the San Francisco organization to play Trey
No,
Lance?
I just think he's been injured and he just hasn't played enough football at a high level. I mean, he probably looks good whipping the ball around the field with no defense, and like I'm sure I have no doubt that he can bomb it out and stuff. But I would be really, really concerned how well he could perform when there's actual pass rushers, actual cornerbacks covering his guys, and I just don't know anymore.
News piece. As of 4 hours ago, Jimmy G says he would have played in Super Bowl, calls the 2021 season with Trey Lance, quote, real awkward, quote.
Probably awkward because he liked Trey as a guy because he's, from what I've heard, he's a nice guy. And so, like, getting along in the meeting rooms was fine. But then it was awkward because Shanahan was clearly trying to replace him, telling everyone it was Trey Lance's team when Jimmy had been the guy that had done everything all along. The team liked him. And so I'm sure that creates just a weird dynamic between the two in the meeting rooms when there's only 2 or 3 of you. And, yeah, that would be awkward.
I'm a Trey Lance holder. He's my QB3 in the dynasty, the same dynasty that I have Knox and Kincaid. And
must be a losing
dynasty. Hey,
dynasty.
I won the second year. I think we're in year 4. So I can go 50% if I win this year.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, in baseball, that's
we'll see what happens. That's a full PPR dynasty with strangers, and I have Jonathan Taylor.
I don't know about Jonathan Taylor this year.
I know. He did help me win it that year too. But
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's my best ball lineup, man. That's my strategy for these best ball lineups. Wide receiver heavy, 3 or 4 rounds. Grab those mid. There's some good mid-tier running backs available. Hit the running backs rounds 4, 5, 6 or whatever. Grab a stud tight end. Grab some backup tight ends on the way out. Grab your QB round 6 or 7 or 8. Grab another QB round 11. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I I just think there's lots of strategies to employ, and I just think I try to go value at all turns. I know sometimes that's hard because the way things fall, the way things shake out. If there's a certain draft room that is just like everyone's got the same idea mentality, you cannot ignore wide receiver early because you perceive the running back talent to be there, because it is it's deceptive. Like, yeah, that running back talent's there, but you only got 2 running back slots. If you got 3 receiver slots, you do have to fill all 3 of those, and that's a task if you don't get one early, at least one early. So I totally understand that.
So yeah, that's my best ball strategy, boys. There's so this is one of my favorite lineups. My other favorite lineup up until this point was a best ball draft that I drafted Jefferson right from the get-go. So if you have the chance to get Jefferson, just do it. It's a no-brainer. If you're drafting 1 or 2, grab that wide receiver. Like I said, the strategy doesn't change. Trust me. Let's make some loot.
Yeah, I mean, pick 1 or 2. Jefferson, Chase. I mean, those 2 are slam dunks. So you got to go one of those 2 if you got to pick 1 or 2.
Yeah, and that goes for redraft too.
Pretty much goes all formats, I believe.
I mean 2 quarterback, you can make an argument.
Okay. Yeah, true.
And I don't know, with Mitchell hurt, CMC gets a little ADP bump, I guess, right now.
Oh, I didn't hear that. That's interesting. My Davis Price.
Yeah, how many running backs? How many rookie running backs did we draft last year? And the hopes have just dropped.
Wow. Yeah, San Francisco goes through the backs, though. That system destroys running backs. They all produce, but it's
a winning formula, though.
It is a winning formula. I'm not going to fault that. And that's why that makes the quarterback position so plug and play in that type of offense. But those running backs go through a lot. They take a pounding because it's one cut and go, and it's like they force you to just slam into the biggest dudes on the field, and those guys can lay a smack down and lay the hurt, and that's why they all get hurt.
But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about my best ball strategy, my 20-round DraftKings or whatever best ball league strategy. Like I said, I'm serious about this shit. I'm trying to make $100K this season. Let's go. Follow me. Comment. Let's fucking make some moolah.
Be excellent to each other.
Miller, we'll see you in a couple days.
Good.
See you guys in a couple days. Like, comment, all that shit. Blah.